Hey peeps, welcome back to the Night Queen's Lair. Yes, I'm taking my YouTube channel back to what I originally called it, and you'll see why when I get into the meat of tonight's video. For those who are not sure who I am, I'm New York Times, USA Today, and Publishers Weekly bestselling author Yasmine Galenorn, and I write urban fantasy and paranormal romance, have over 65 books on the shelves, spent 20 years in traditional publishing, and the last going into my 5th year as an indie now. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you're interested, please do so now, and that way you'll get notified when I have new videos out there. So sit back, pull up a seat, and we'll get started here. It has been a while, hasn't it? I'm sorry for that, but I have been swamped with deadlines. I have been swamped with work and the holidays, and finally, I am on a break, and I am deciding what I want to do with this channel, and I am just getting to a point where I can breathe for a while. I made a mistake last year, and it was a personal mistake. I tried to plot The Eternal Return in advance. I do not plot books, not consciously. I have discovered since then that my process is an internal subconscious one, and it's much more natural for me. And when I try to step outside and think, gee, maybe I should try the bright shiny, try something new, try something different, it doesn't always work. And so I got behind because I spent 2 or 3 weeks trying to plot that book, and it just didn't want to plot. So when I started to write it, it actually started to work. So I got behind on that. And I also got behind because I tried to stick Demon's Delight in there when it wasn't on the schedule, and I tried to write it between books, and that also put me behind. And then I was just in the weeds. I tell you, I was scrambling. But The Eternal Return came out, and you guys seem to have loved it, and that was from not plotting it. And I got The Phantom Queen written, and that's now out, and you guys seem to be loving it. And it was odd writing in Karis's world again. Let me tell you, it felt like going back to a town to see people who I wasn't sure who they were anymore, and I wasn't sure how I related to them anymore. And it worked, and it was fun, but it was different. I'm very, very grateful that I've got that series back, but it was definitely a different feel as I went back to it, which is why I revised the first 2 books to make them fit more with my writing style now. As far as Demon's Delight, it is done. It's on the editor's desk. She'll get it back to me. I'll get it uploaded. It comes out on the 24th. You will notice that the price has dropped, and that's because it turned out to be a long novella instead of a full book. So it's a long novella, and I took the price down accordingly. And if you have pre-ordered it, don't worry, you'll be charged the lower price. That's the way they work. So you don't have to cancel it. The lowest price is the one that will go through. And so now I'm ready to jump back into the Wild Hunt, and I'm excited about it. I love writing the Wild Hunt. I love writing Ember, and I love writing Raven. And I am planning the next book will be Ember's book, Sunbroken, and then I'll write a Raven book, and then I'm going to write another Ember book, and then another Raven book, and from there on we'll see where I go. But so you've got at least 2 Ember and 2 Raven books coming up in a row, so to speak. And of course the next Wild Hunt book comes out in not quite mid-April. So Sunbroken is up for pre-order. I'll be getting Witching Moon up for pre-order as well. and I'll let you know when I do. Now to talk about my YouTube channel. I was doing writing videos, and I was trying to help people and trying to give advice, and I realized something, that I am not geared toward doing that. It's not in my wheelhouse to teach. It just isn't. And people were asking very good questions, but ones I can't answer because that's not my process. I do not plot books. I do not plan out characters in advance. I cannot tell you how to know when something's done. For me, it's done on a subconscious level. So I am not the best author to give writing advice, unless you work on a subconscious level and want to talk about that. I never sit down and just plot out my characters or my book in advance and have it work. I haven't done that in years, and when I did, it restrained my writing to a point where I wasn't enjoying it that much. So, yeah, I have decided for my YouTube channel, at least for the foreseeable future, I'm just going to talk about things I enjoy, which includes makeup and fashion, my books, the cats, daily life, TV and movies, because I'm watching Project Runway right now, but Top Chef is coming up, the new season, and I love Top Chef. I own every season of Top Chef on Amazon. And so I am going to basically talk about Top Chef each week when it hits the airwaves. I'm going to do a little recap. So if you enjoy Top Chef, come on over and talk about it with me the next day, because next day or the day after, it depends on when I'm able to get the video done. But I plan on doing a video every week talking about the episodes coming up. And I've also thought about going through some of the things that I love, because I'm a media junkie. I love movies, I love TV, I love music. And I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the things that inspire me in my work, and how they inspire me, and just other things like Top Chef that I have a passion for. So I'm going to be doing more of that. I think I'd enjoy it a whole lot. And I don't have my kitties in here tonight with me. They're out in the other room, which I've got the door shut so that Sam doesn't, whatever he's doing doesn't filter in here. But I'll still be doing some planner videos too, because I love doing planner videos. And what I'll probably do is a plan with me video. I don't know if it'll be once a week or once a month, but I plan on doing those. Plan. And I thought I might do some videos about tattoos and about magic and tarot. I still plan on doing more reviews on tarot cards, because I've got tons of decks, and I can show you what they look like, and I can talk about what I like about them, what I may not like about them, why they work for me, why they may just be an art deck for me, and give you an idea whether they might work for you. So that's about it for this time. I almost didn't make this video tonight. I spent 15 minutes trying to get my lipstick right. It was one of those nights where no matter what I did, I smudged it. I dropped it on my dress, which luckily you can't see the smudge here. I mean, the dress is colored so that it kind of absorbs some of the purple. I had smudges on my face, I had smudges on my chin. I don't know what was up. I mean, I know Mercury Retrograde's coming up. I suppose I could blame it on that. Oh, and you may also notice I now have blue hair. Well, it's brown with blue in it. You can see some of the lighting there, yeah. And we're going to be putting some purple streaks in it as well. So I'm having a whole lot of fun with my new hair color and loving it, and loving the new makeup palette that I was able to go back to. Red limited me I liked the red, but it severely limited the colors I could wear in terms of makeup that looked good with it. And I thought, I may also talk about some of the makeups and things that I use, the ones that are safe for me. We did pretty much figure out that, yes, what I have is called MCAS, mast cell activation disorder. And that's a big handful of words for basically my body thinks everything's attacking it and tries to go into allergic reactions for everything. I'm going to be trying something new to see if I can get it into some sort of remission at this point. It won't ever go away, but hopefully I'll be able to take the reactions down from what they have been over the past few months, which have been pretty rough. So we will see. And I may do a few videos talking about living with chronic illness and living with chronic conditions. I don't know. I suppose this could be called an illness, but I prefer to think of it as a condition because it's less of a trigger word for me than illness. There are a lot of adaptions. I've had to do a lot of adapting in my life over the past couple years because of this, and sometimes it can be hard to know how to shift things out and how to accept the need for that. Granted, I don't like having to do it sometimes, but there comes a point where you just have to accept reality as it is and work from there. And yeah, maybe I can put it into remission, and that would be wonderful. And I'm really open-minded about this neural reprogramming thing that I'm going to be trying to rewire my brain so that it doesn't think that it's constantly under attack and trigger off the mast cells. But the fact is there are a lot of limitations I've had to accept, and maybe they'll get better, which would be wonderful, and maybe they won't, which would put things on a par for the course as they are now. But I like people to know that, even if you have to limit your life because of a chronic condition, it doesn't mean your life's over. It doesn't mean that everything's gone. It doesn't mean you can't do things. It just means you find a way that you can do them, or you find something else in place of it that you enjoy just as much. So I was thinking we'll be doing a couple videos on living with disability because my husband is disabled, and I may be interviewing him on my blog as well, talking to him about how he approaches his disability and what he can do and what he's done to make life better for himself. Because disabled doesn't mean unable. And so I guess that's about it. I'm starting to ramble now, and we know I can just get into rambling. So I will talk to you later this week, and we'll see what I decide to do first on my new focus on my blog. Well, on my YouTube channel. You can find me over at my blog. You can find me over at my blog. I'm not on Twitter as much anymore, and my VA, Jen, runs my Facebook group, so I'm not in there very much. So, yeah, you can find me on my blog, you can find me here, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.